This is a trigger warning. This episode contains references to suicide and mental health. And if you need some help, please make sure you reach out and talk to someone. And hello and welcome to the Divine Podcast. I am back for another episode and I have my producer, Court.
Hello.
And also joining me today, one of my favorite human beings in the whole entire world, Madison Mills.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So Maddi is my bestie, ride or die, / housemate / full-time sick bitch / boss-ass human being / thug life gangster.
/ the funniest person I know.
I mean, second only to me. We already talked about this. I'm way more funnier than you. Do you want to play Cards Against Humanity right now? Because I'll beat you again.
On a basic level, you are funnier. By the way,
squeeze me.
It's Cards Against Humanity that you are funnier.
Because I'm witty.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's not basic. Your family thinks I'm so much more funnier than you.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so sorry, got carried away. But I feel like those who don't know you or don't know about our friendship needs to know how we became friends. Mm-hmm. Like, people see me share you on my story all the time. Like, you're all over my Instagram and like, you know, I feel like we're like a little duo. It's always Maddi and D. Classic Maddi and D mess around.
Maddi.
Hey. But so how do we become friends? So how long have we been friends now?
7 years, 8 years.
When I first met you, I think the first time I ever met you, I did not like you at all.
I hated you as well.
And
that's how all the best friendships start.
It's so wild because like now, like, you know, I'm obsessed with you, but shall we tell them?
Yeah, go on.
So we were at work and I was in the lifts and Maddi comes in with her fucking colleague and she says this joke to her colleague. She thinks she's so funny with this joke. She was like, "Are you from Africa? Because you're a freaking bitch." And I thought she would say it to me. I was like, "Excuse me?" And she was like, "I wasn't talking to you." And I was like, "All right." And then that was it. And I was like, "Fine, bye, bitch."
My first impression was...
Wow, it's such a funny joke.
My first impression of you was we were in the lobby and there was a big barrel that had to be moved for some drawer that we were having, and you looked at me and you were like, "Excuse me, can you move that?" And I was like, one, you're not my boss, and two, you didn't even say please. Who does this bitch think she is? And I was like, okay. So then whenever I saw you strutting in your yellow dress walking through the business...
Excuse me, it wasn't yellow, it was navy blue. Get the colours right.
Oh, no, the yellow dress was the other one, the first dates one. Yeah. Why am I visualising it in a yellow dress? That was the first dates dress.
Do you even know me, bro?
Sorry, the long navy blue dress and you would strut through in your little heels.
You're like, damn, her booty fat.
Yeah. I was like, she might look good, but she's got an attitude.
She got gratitude.
Yeah. But then I don't even know how we became friends after that. We started working closely together.
No, and then so we weren't in the same team at that point, and
we
then
didn't really know each other then.
Yeah, and then you moved into my team. And then we started bonding because I felt like, you know, like, because I was a bit more, I had a couple more years work experience in marketing than you.
Yeah.
And then you moved into my team. So I felt like I took you under my wing a little bit and taught you a few things.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's how we just sort of naturally bonded. And now, like, you know, we're the best of friends. And the last year living with you has been the time of my life.
So good. So many adventures.
And yeah, so we have some wild stories, but the main reason why I wanted you on here today is I feel like we always have so many funny stories where we talk about the people the people we've slept with.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I want to do this episode because A, you're really funny. Yes, you are funny, but not funnier than me. But B, I want to make people, especially my listeners, more comfortable with their sex experiences, because I feel like so many of us would have so many embarrassing, cringeworthy sex stories that if we were to share ours, it'll make people feel better about what they've been through. Because
I sure will make them feel better.
Because I certainly have a lot of fuck stories that like fucked up, embarrassing, cringeworthy stories that you've heard. And we've like had so many tears.
That I've heard from your mouth or heard from the bedroom walls.
Anyways, why don't you kick things off and tell them about your first story?
Okay.
Yeah, which one are you going to tell? The condom one. Tell the condom one.
Okay.
The condom one's my favourite one, I think. Wait. Which one's my favourite? No, the condom one's first.
I'll start with the condom one.
All right, go. Set the scene.
Okay, so I went away. You weren't with me on this trip, but I went away with one of my friends up to the Gold Coast. We went out to the Burleigh Pav. It was lots of fun. We got lit, doing shots. There was this one guy there who was really hot, really nice. We were vibing, doing shots together. Everything was going great. She left to go back to where we were staying, and I stayed out because I was having the time of my life. And then I just looked at him. We'd been like dancing together and stuff, and I just looked at him and I was like, all right, so are we going back to yours or mine? And he was like, yours? And I was like, okay. So then we get in the we were down in Burleigh and I was staying in Surface, so it was a little bit of like a journey to get back.
Did you fuck in the car?
No. But in the car, he seemed really like anxious, like a little bit like, oh, what am I getting myself into? And I was like, are you okay? I was like, we don't have to do this. And he was like,
are you okay, hun?
Yeah.
Like, you're safe.
Yeah, you're safe. He goes, no, like, I'm just thrown by your confidence. Like, you're very upfront. You're very forward. I'm not used to it. And I was like,
I'm horny because I haven't fucked in like 10 months, bro.
I was like, I don't know. I just threw it on the table. But this is an important note for later on in the story, why he was like nervous. So then they got the Uber driver to pull into a servo, and he got a box of condoms. And we kept
Wait. What size were the condoms they got?
I think they were just average, but if they got smaller, no, they actually did, which is another point you'll see later on in the story. I don't know if Servo has a selection of sizes. Like, I think you get what you can get when you pull up to BP. So I'm staying in this one bedroom apartment with my friend who's in the bedroom asleep. So obviously we can't go in there. So we are out. The balcony was like a kind of closed off balcony. Like, it wasn't open. Like, it had like tinted glass on it, so like you couldn't see. So we're having sex on the balcony. And first up, the most like weird thing that happened in this encounter was we were having sex, and under his breath,
What breath?
Huh?
Under his what?
Under his breath, he said, "I love you." While we were having sex. And I was like,
I like this.
he was like, "I love you." And before we were having sex, he put a condom on, and his penis was like no shame to him. Like, no, honestly, like the size doesn't matter, but the condom didn't really fit very well. Like, it was big.
It's not about.
It wasn't a snug fit, right? So then halfway through sex, I see him put on a second condom, and I was like, oh, like the first one just like must have fallen off. Like, I know, like it's not that tight, like a bit loose, whatever.
Was he like fully hard though?
Yeah, he was.
It was just his dick was just small.
It was so small, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like.
But they don't make condoms in extra small.
Yeah, like obviously, yeah, it just.
Do they make condoms in extra small?
I don't know. I actually don't know. But basically, it was just very loose. And then we were having sex again. We actually broke the tile, like the table leg smashed into the tile on the balcony, and it just like concaved in. And then, yeah, it ended. He was like, oh, like, let's go have a shower. And I was like, whatever. So we had a shower. He got out. I stayed in the shower, and he was out in the lounge room. Then I come out, and he was like, I'm going to go. I'm like, yeah, cool, sweet. I'm like in a towel. He's like, are you going to walk me out? And I was
why, bro?
Like,
leave.
Probably not. Like, you're a grown man.
You can
this is
fucking
like
go.
the Meriton. I'm in a towel. Like,
Bye.
deuces. And then my friend was like, babe, while you're in the shower, I heard him on the phone out in the lounge room, and he was like, yeah, no, I'm out with the boys, I promise. I'll be home soon. And I was like, oh God, I've just slept with someone that probably has a girlfriend, and maybe he was face fucking me, which is why he said, I love you, or
It's like
something. He was trying to make yourself feel better, imagining he's having sex with his girlfriend. But then I was like, that's probably why he was so nervous and anxious in the car on the way. I was like, it wasn't my confidence king, you are taken.
So to clarify, this man's didn't tell you that he had a girlfriend.
I would never do that.
Yeah, and you slept with him because he didn't like tell you that he was taken. He fucking chose to come back home with you.
Yeah.
And he was nervous the whole time. He had sex with you, told you he loves you after
I
just
don't think it was
after
me he
just
was talking
meeting
to,
you.
though.
After just meeting you that night. But the man's is obviously feeling guilty because he was
He's clearly not okay. He's
he
going
was
through
thinking
it.
of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyway.
just go home and have sex with your girlfriend, bro.
But the story gets worse. So
So then you come home
yeah, I get on a plane. I fly back to Sydney
the next day.
That morning. That morning, yeah. It was like, this probably happened like 3, and then the flight was like 10.
Yeah.
So come back to Sydney. You and I had a friend over for dinner that
Tell
night.
everyone again how awesome of a cook I am.
Yes, you made an amazing lasagna.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, chef's kiss. But we were sitting outside eating, and I just had a shower. I was in like pajama shorts, and I was like, what is that itchy sensation?
No.
And I looked down, and I could see, like, I was like, fuck, did like tissues go through the washing machine or something? I could see this white thing. I pulled it out, and it was the condom. The first condom that it came off. It obviously came off inside me, and he just chose not to tell me and then put a second one back on. Like, that's a health hazard.
So
I know a friend that had a condom stuck up inside her, and she didn't know, and she was in serious pain. She had to go to the hospital, and they had to remove it.
So we're all sitting around having a wholesome dinner with my amazing lasagna.
What was it? A lasagna?
The sun was setting. It was a beautiful scene. I was just enjoying, like, you know, hearing my friend's story. Like, I missed your weekend. Hearing you have this amazing wild sexcapade with this man that was cheating on his girlfriend. I was like so engrossed in it. I look over and you're like doing something weird with your leg. I'm like, the fuck is she doing? Like, is she playing with herself? I was like, Maddi, I was just thinking in my head, I was like, this is not the time and place.
This is dinner time.
And then I was just like, okay, she's going through something. Maybe she's getting really horny thinking about the sex. And then I just looked at you and you were just holding this thing. And I was like, why are you showing us a tissue, Maddi? And then I did a double take. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It was a dangling rubber condom.
It's
and
so
I looked at you. I was like, Maddi, has that been inside you for 7 hours? And you were like, yeah. And we all just like, we didn't know what to say. We weren't even laughing. We were all shook. We were all shooketh.
That's fucked.
That is so fucked.
So bad. As if he would just not say anything.
Because he's a fucking human trash bag. He's a human trash bag.
So, boys, if you have a condom fall off in someone, do the right thing and let the girl know.
That's fucked. Anyway,
anyways, ciao. Your turn.
Thank you for sharing, and I'm going
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm going to make you feel better because that was fucked. But like, I feel like my story might top yours.
Okay.
I feel like I have told you this, but like probably not the whole story because it happened so long ago. So this was my first ever I was on first dates before that, but this was my first proper time filming away. And I was, you know, like filming with the Geordies, and these Geordies have been on like filming since they were 18 and stuff like that. So I was like brand new, fresh, right? And I was 24. Even at 24, like I always thought that I was such a confident person, but being on a show like that, no one can ever prepare you for reality TV, can they? There's no fucking how-to guide. There's no tutorial of how to behave or what to do. They literally asked me to be on the show, and I never even seen Geordie Shore before, mind you. I don't even like watching reality TV in general. So I was like, yeah, sick, I'll do it because it's fun and you know.
Adventure.
Yeah, I get to get paid, I get to travel, I get to party. Like, fuck, why not? Like, let's go for it. So I did it, but during my time filming, I felt like I wasn't like, I needed to, because I was 24, I was still very impressionable, and I felt like I needed to have more screen time or whatever, or just because there's so many like big personalities in the house, right? There was about, I think 8 of us, and then eight OG Geordies, and then 4 Aussies, which was like the one that we filmed in Surfers Paradise.
Yeah.
So I felt like I needed to be a little bit extra to get more screen time, even though I'm extra in general. Like, you know, I like to party, I like to have fun. I felt like I wasn't pulling my weight enough to get the screen time. And I remember there was like this boy on like one of the premises of the show is like we have parties and we invite people that we met out at the club, and then there's like intruders that come in, and like there was this boy from England that they flew in specifically to shake things up in the house because there was not enough single boys in the house, and they wanted like more drama or whatever the fuck it was, right? So at this stage, we've already been filming for 2 weeks. This boy comes in on the 3rd week, and he's sort of like a new single boy that, and there was 2 single girls on the, 3 single girls actually, but there was 2 single girls on the show, myself and another girl. And I felt like me and her always had this sort of like rivalry or whatever the fuck it was. Like there's a bit of competition because like when we go out, like, you know, we both like we both like the similar aesthetic type of boy. So we went out, we partied, and like we came back to this house, and then we saw him, and both of us were like, oh, like he's cute, like fresh meat and all that stuff. So we were trying to make our move on him. And then of course, me being the competitive one, I was like, yep, no, I'm going to hook up with him tonight, even though I literally just met him 5 minutes ago. Whatever, I don't care. So we started making out, like me and this boy, and then like things got really hot and heavy. I was really drunk at this stage, and everything was still being filmed, like cameras were rolling and all that stuff. And they have this room in the house called the shag pad. And the shag pad is where everyone sort of goes into fuck, which is kind of really disgusting because like they don't change the sheets, bro. So,
What?
they don't change the sheets. So,
Oh my God, that's gross.
yeah. So I pull him into the shag pad because everyone's had a turn in the shag pad except for me. And I wanted it to be like, oh, you know, I'm D. I've got a chance in the shag pad with this boy. Blech. So I pull Maddi into the room. Things are getting hot and heavy. We're kissing, making out, and it's so fucking gross, like lying on this bed knowing other people's fucked on it. I felt like fresh cum on the sheets from like obviously someone's session earlier. It was, I know, it's actually really fucking disgusting, but you know, when you're drunk and you're like partying, you don't care. So things get hot and heavy. We're under the blankets. And the thing about when you're filming Geordie Shore, there's cameras everywhere. So there's small cameras everywhere, but like there's also a film crew, but there's small cameras in each room because the cameras are rolling all the time. It's like Big Brother, right? So old mate and I are like fucking. And then it gets really hot. Like it's really hot because we're under the sheets. And I was like, bro, like it's getting too hot. Just take the sheets off. So
The camera's out.
he took the sheets off and we started like fucking, like, you know, he's like on top of me, we're fucking. And then suddenly the door opens and the producers are like, guys, if you're going to have sex, you need to put the covers over yourselves. I was like, mate, like you can't just fucking keep me coming in. So we're like, all right, so we'll put the covers back over us. Door gets shut again and we're fucking. And then it gets too hot again. And I'm like, no, just take it off. They're not going to know. We took it off again. Literally 2 minutes later, Maddi comes back. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you're going to have sex, put the sheets on. So there's obviously
People watching you the whole time while you're having sex in there. That's cooked, bro.
And yeah, I don't know how many people were watching us have
What
sex.
the fuck?
So I made a porno without even knowing it. Because obviously they can't show us actually having sex. The only thing they can show is
On
the sheets over and like movements under the sheets. So that's what they want to show. But every time we took the sheets off, they can't use that footage because it's not a fucking porno.
Yeah.
So we did it again. And then it got really hot again because, like, you know, we're drunk and stuff like that. We didn't care. And the third time, the producer comes back and the producer's like, I'm not going to leave until I make sure the sheets are over you. So he's standing at the door, like not watching us, but obviously someone's seeing us. And then like, he's like, you guys, I can't allow you to keep fucking because you're not covering yourself with the sheets. And we're like, fucking hell. So we eventually just keep fucking with the sheets on, and then he leaves. But like, we're still fucking. And then like that, so the producer stops coming in. But then the door opens again, and everyone from the fucking house, all the Geordies, starts coming in, and they were like, oh, like just being drunk idiots, like jumping on the bed while his dick was still inside me. And I'm just lying there, and everyone's like, oh, he's getting fucked or whatever. And I was like, this is the most humiliating moment of my whole entire life.
But the thing is, like, they've all been in that same position, so
yeah. But do you know how fucked that is?
It's so messed up. I have watched Geordie Shore, and I always used to think like the whole shag pad situation is cooked. Like the fact that there's cameras and people watching people have sex, I don't think I could do. I would be so wigged out. But babe, like you're just so, yeah.
The fucked up thing was like mentally, no one prepares you for a reality show.
That's cool.
That was my first ever show. The producers don't tell you, hey, if you have sex, they don't tell you the talk. They don't give you the talk. If you do, like, just so you know, the effects of it, the mental health aspect of it afterwards is fucked. Like, I remember just having this experience, and then after it was done, they were like, all right, see you later, we'll be in touch, like, blah, blah, blah. But no one follows up. And
no duty of care there, yeah.
No one follows up, say, hey, are you okay? You could talk to a psychiatrist or whatever.
Because that's like, a full thing. Like, that's a fucking ordeal to go through.
And I want to say, this is the reason why so many reality stars kill themselves.
Yeah.
And I know this is a very intense topic, because suicide is a very real thing. And if you guys have listened to my first episode, you know how fucked being on these shows has affected me mentally. But I'm just really thankful and grateful that I have people in my life that love me and support me, and that I'm resilient as fuck, because I hear so many stories of reality stars killing themselves after being on shows, because no one ever prepares them for what happens afterwards. You tell a fucking 18-year-old you're going to be amazing, you're going to go on this show, and then they come into the house with, let's say, 1,000 followers. They leave a show, and then they wake up to 1 million followers overnight, like all those Love Island stars, right? You go from 0 to like 1,000 like 1 million overnight. Like, you know, crazy. And it's an amazing experience. But they don't fucking prepare you for the trolls. They don't prepare you for the anxiety that you get. They don't prepare you for what it feels like to watch yourself on the show. They don't prepare you for the guilt and the shame you go through after everything's done. They don't prepare you for the amount of shit that you cop from fucking losers, internet trolls on the internet saying, you're fucking disgusting, you're a shit human being, I can't believe you did that, you're a fucking hoe, you're a slut, calling you the fucking worst things that you could ever imagine. And you click on this person's profile, and it's like a photo of some fucking bitch with her children or something. Like, you're a mother and you're literally talking like that. That's so foul. I would never even speak to my worst enemy like that. Like, the amount of, like, you've seen the amount of shit I got.
Yeah, I know.
On TV. And I'm not even like a shit person. Like, I'm not a murderer or serial killer. Like, I've made some mistakes, but I'm not a shit human being to cop this abuse. All I've done is just go on a show and be real.
Yeah.
And go through an experience that everyone goes through experience. The only difference is people can watch it.
Yeah, I feel like producers put you on there, they exploit you, and they get everything they can from you, but they don't give you the coping mechanisms to like deal with what comes with it. Not good.
And that's why it makes me like, I don't know what I want to do or whatever, but I hope like by having this podcast, I can talk about some of the shit. Like, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to start a podcast in the first place, because I feel like, yeah, there's so many podcasts out there, but like, I choose when I want to be vulnerable now, and I choose to allow parts of me to be open and parts of people to see different parts of me that, you know, hopefully, like I was saying to you earlier while we're having coffee, like I've got a 12-year-old sister. She's going through that teenage phase, you know, and she's still trying to discover who she is as a person, as a woman, and as an Asian female growing up in racist Australia as well, by the way. So she's still trying to figure out her life and all that stuff. And I just pray that anyone out there, maybe the show's not for 12-year-olds, but like as you get older and you do discover this show and you can listen to me and hopefully you can learn from like my experience and know that it's okay. Like whatever you're going through, it's okay. Like, you know, like I've gone through some shit, and if I can get through these things, you can too. And life is too fucking precious to just throw it away over some stupid thing that some fucking peasant fucker said to you behind a fucking keyboard.
Yeah, I think the government's actually bringing in like regulations now to try and regulate trolls, but cancel culture and everyone on the internet behind a keyboard, it is actually so dangerous, the impacts that they have. But hopefully people can relate to you and your story and you touch everyone.
Well, and also watch out for my book that's dropping soon. A little plug right there. And sorry, that sort of took a different turn. We like, my goal was to just have a fun sort of podcast to laugh, but also we talk about real shit, and that's why coming back full circle, that's why I appreciate and love you so much. Like, our friendship is so fun and we have so much like fun together, but we talk about real shit, man. Like, and there's conversations that I've had with you before where I felt like you just hold space for me, because I have some dark thoughts going through my mind. Like after being on TV, I never thought like I would ever have those sort of thoughts. Like, and I've been through some shit when I was growing up as well, that shit that would just make, you know, grown men cry. But after the whole TV experience, like my mind just went onto like a different darkness that I never realized I had in me.
I feel like after that kind of stuff happened to you, you held a lot of that in and you were dealing with that on your own. But I think it's like really brave and really good and part of your healing process now to be open about it and be vulnerable and let everyone kind of see this side of you. And like you've started to open up more to me about things as well, and obviously I guess you feel ready to talk about it, but it's good and I love you.
I love you too.
You're so strong.
We both so strong.
Ow.
Maddi, let's tell them about Cockring Boy and then we can wrap it up.
All right. So I met this boy on Hinge recently.
Wait, hold on. Are you worried that he's going to find out or not? Not really.
I don't really care.
Yeah,
he did what he did.
Yeah, he needs to fucking, listen, Cockring Boy, if you're listening to this fucking podcast, you're lucky I don't know where you live, because if I see you on the streets, you dead. I won't murder you because I'm not threatening anything, but if I see you on the streets, I will literally slap the fuck out of you.
Give you some concerning words.
Cockring Boy, if I see you on the streets, I will have a talk to you. Period T.
Period T. Oh, that's why I love you. Okay, so I met this boy on Hinge and he is so hot, like so ridiculously hot. And he's a model and just very sexy boy. Anyway, we were going to hang out earlier in the day and I went on a little bit of a manic ADHD episode where I was cleaning my room. I kept pushing it back a little bit, and then it got to about like 4:35 because I wanted to go to the gym and get everything done. And then you were over and you were having a talk with one of your little situationships.
Oh, yes.
And I needed to be there for it.
Yep.
So old mate comes over for maybe like half an hour, this guy that I'm seeing, half an hour before your situationship rocks up. And we were just kind of talking about how you're going to let this guy down easily and then take him out for dinner for his birthday. But you were like, you guys need to be in the room next door, put the speaker up, play the music loud so that like he knows that you aren't listening, but also be listening so that you can be available to help if anything goes down.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. So he comes over.
By the way, that's why I fucking love you, because you're there for me. Even though, even though you had the sexy boy coming over, I'm telling you, no, Maddi, I need you to be here. You can't leave me alone, because this is a very intense thing for me, and I need you to be here. Yep. Got you, boo. I'm on guard. Like, I'll be in my room with the speaker up with this sexy boy, but I'll be on guard. Don't you worry. And you were on guard.
I was on guard, sis. So then your friend comes over. We're all having a little chat, a little vibe, make sure the mood's all good, and then you give me the signal. I'm like, okay, to the room. Let's go. So we go into the room. I put the speaker on. I sit down on my little study chair, and he's on the bed, and he's like, taps the bed to like come over, and I was like, yeah, whatever. So I go.
Ew, it's the like.
It's the.
And does he do the?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a run.
I feel like your like weird uncle would do that. Like, come over here and like,
Immediate ick.
Give me
Immediate ick. Yeah.
But then,
Wait, so did you come over?
That's 100% a red flag, though.
there were so many red flags in this
babe,
story.
we're not-
You're going to be like, why did you keep going?
Babe, this is just one red flag, okay? One.
So
This was a medium baby flag. It
This
wasn't.
was a yellow flag. So then I go over, and he starts kissing me out of nowhere. Just takes off his pants, drops both his pants and his undies off. Just bam, wham, and I was like, excuse me, but my best friend is having a talk, and this cannot happen right now. I was like, I need to be on alert. I need to listen to make sure she needs me. I cannot be doing any of this until at least she goes off with old mate to dinner. And he was like, oh, just a little bit. I was like,
A little bit of what?
I don't know. So I was like, no. And then, mind you, Dee and I had half an edible each before all this went down.
A legal edible.
A legal one, yeah.
I've got medical weed, so I'm not a doctor, but I've got prescription. So
Yes.
Don't lock me up unless I want to, officer.
So I was like starting to get a little bit high. Anyway, Dee comes in and she's like, oh, like, we're going to dinner, like, whatever. So then...
But like, wait. So he puts his pants back on.
his pants are back on at this
Yeah,
point. Like,
I didn't
we're just
go
like-
in and his pants were off.
Yeah, no.
But tell them how his pants were off and he still had his shirt on.
Yes, ew, that is my biggest
Second red flag.
ick. Like when someone has a shirt on and
Second
no
red flag.
bottoms. Yes, he's
Wait.
No, his pants around his ankles. Like,
No.
come on.
Did he have socks on?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still had his
No.
socks on.
Buddy. Ew.
I know.
Okay, so he's...
And also he rode a scooter over. Like a little Vespa.
Where did you find this guy?
And also...
He's a model. He's a French model, but like
he's French.
he's so hot. But
He's
I
French.
had an ick a couple of times, which helped. Like the fact he was riding a scooter over helped me. With
He's
the fact that he was
French.
so
Did you
hot.
like pick him up at the local skate park?
Someone I picked up from the skate park would have been better at this.
He's
point.
French.
Yeah. Anyway, Dee goes off to dinner. I go out to the kitchen. I'm like making us a drink, and then we start kissing again. And then I went to the bathroom, and I kid you not, I walk out from the bathroom. He brought over a little man bag. He's got his pants off. He pulls a cock ring out of his man bag and just puts it on. He did not tell me, no discussion. I just walk out and he put a cock ring on his penis.
Wait,
I was like,
wait. Was his top still on?
No.
Or was he fully naked on the stage?
Just naked.
Wait, did he have socks on?
Actually, he could have had socks on. I'm not gonna lie.
Third
And,
red
and he's just
flag.
standing there, and I was like, "Okay, so you bought a cock ring, but did you bring a condom?"
Wait,
he was like-
wait. At this stage,
I was like, "Hi," so I didn't give a fuck what I was saying.
at this stage, this is the fifth red flag. Wait, what? How many red flags are we up to now already? I don't know. Go on.
And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Well, why didn't you put that on?" And he was like, "Oh, okay." So he did.
What size was the condom?
Yeah, he had like a nice penis. Like, it was like normal.
So
There was
wasn't-
no falling off.
So the condom wasn't going to be snug in you. It was
Yeah.
snug.
It was a snug fit.
Are you sure?
But he So I walk out of the bathroom, I see that. I'm like, get your condom. He puts it on, and then we go into my room. He's like, do you have lube? And I was like, yes, I got coconut oil. So I went into my shower and I started pouring so much.
Babe.
I was high.
Coconut oil is not lube.
No, it's a natural lube.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never fucking used coconut oil as lube before.
Try
So's
it, babe.
fucking like saliva. You could have got anything.
I was
He could have just, you know, when they just spit on their hands and then they do that. He could have just done that. Why the fuck did you go in and get
I
coconut?
always use coconut oil for lube.
Really?
Yeah.
But doesn't it I heard something right with coconut oil. If it gets too hot, it causes a burning sensation, doesn't it? Or does it not?
Nah, it's nice.
Oh, I'm gonna try it now.
Yeah, keep your pussy fresh, pussy clean.
Pussy fresh, pussy clean. I'm gonna go get. Hey Siri,
I'm very
add
natural.
Hey Siri, add coconut oil to my shopping list.
And sometimes if you're in a pinch, olive oil goes alright too.
I didn't find a shopping list. Do you want to create one?
Yeah, I can't add in olive oil and coconut oil, please.
Okay. Added to your shopping list.
Thanks.
Anyway, I get the coconut oil. I'm like high, so I pour so much out. He's like, "Whoa, that's too much." I was like, "Ugh, get it off!" And he was like, "Wait, are you okay?" I was like, "Ugh," and I like wiped it all on him. I was like, "It fucking stinks. Get it off my hands." And he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So then we like having sex, and literally, he was so obsessed with my butt. Like, I know I've got a good butt, but he was way too obsessed with my butt. I was like, "This is like." Weird, like, I don't know, it's like, it feels a little bit like, I don't know, I was just getting weird vibes.
Wait, you didn't get weird vibes when he took off his fucking pants and had his shirt on?
Yeah, the 20 other red flags. That was the one.
The one where he was obsessed with your butt is where you got weird vibes, right?
But
And not even the cock ring situation. Okay, but go on.
But then we're having sex and no warning, no lube, nothing, 2 fingers straight in the butt. Like, and I jumped, I turned around, I was like, "You're fucking adventurous for someone that just met me?" And he was like, no. And I was like,
oh, pardon.
what the hell? Anyway, we ended up finishing. It was all good, done. I was like, this was like a whole ordeal. Then he sits on the lounge with
Wait,
me.
did he
No,
put
he's
his-
dressed? We're dressed. Like, this was like everywhere.
And he showered off the fucking coconut oil, right? He didn't sit on my fucking lounge. No, babe, if he sat on my fucking lounge with his coconut oil naked body, I will burn that
It was
couch.
not naked. He had to put his pants and his shirt and everything back on. Like, we were clean. Like, he went into the bathroom and washed his hands. He like, yeah.
I don't need to burn the couch.
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool.
And this was after then we had, I got like some water and then we were like sitting on the lounge.
okay,
Like, this is like a good like 20 minutes after.
Okay.
And then he basically said, one, he was like, "Oh yeah, the government is just trying to control us." He said he's against vaccinations, and I was like, "Okay, so are you vaccinated?" He's like, "I've got a fake certificate."
It just
and I was
gets
like,
worse, doesn't
"What
it?"
the hell is going on in the House of Commons?" And then he said, then he goes, "Oh, in Australia, like everyone's so free, but like I don't understand why guys choose to be gay when Australian women are so
Excuse
beautiful."
me?
And I was like, "Sorry,
Choose to be gay?
Choose to be gay. That is not a thing." And I guess maybe people might be gay curious or bi curious and go through like a bit of a
You don't
journey,
choose
like
to
of
be gay.
self-discovery, but like you don't choose to be gay. And then he said, "I thought I was gay like when I was 15, 16. And I was like, ding, cock ring, butt, fingers in the butt, everything like, and yeah, I was like, "So tell me more about that." Because I was like, I want to hear. He's like, "Yeah, no, like, I thought that I was in love with my best friend, but it just turned out it was like a bonding thing because like I got jealous that he had a girlfriend, rah, rah, rah. But, you know, like I'm not like the female body is just so beautiful. Like I appreciate that." And I'm like, "You can appreciate the female body. Maybe like you're bi or something. I don't know. I feel like you just need to go on a bit of a journey."
But also, the French are very like I love people and you know, like maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he had a complex about being curious or whatever. But I
Maybe.
just want to clarify, being gay is not a choice.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's
And
not.
I was like, what the hell when he said that? I was like, this
And
guy.
he's lucky I wasn't in the house when he said that.
I know.
Because if I heard that, I would literally cut a bitch.
Yeah. And then he's talking about like how where he's from back in France is like very criminal. There's a lot of criminal activity going on. And I was like, "Oh yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, but you know, sometimes you got to stick it to the men. Like in the 80s
Literally?
I've been here, I've never paid for my food." And I was like,
What?
"Sorry, what was that?" And he was like, he was like, "Obviously, if I go to like a small like family owned grocery, I'll buy it, but like Coles and Woolies, I just take it." And I was like, okay, I think we've had a good night. Time to go. And he went to kiss me. I was like,
So this.
and he rode off on his scooter into the night, and I never heard anything from him.
Wait, backtrack. Just so everyone is clear, this man's told you that he steals from Coles and Woolies. Like
An anti-vaxxer, food stealing person that thinks people choose to be gay. So, yeah. And then
that rides a scooter.
the rise of the Vespa. What did I let into my life? Anyway, I was also quite triggered from him. And I didn't realize I was going to be so triggered from him because I went through something when I was like 16 and it brought up a lot of like old feelings. And I was like, this man violated me.
Yeah, and I just want to say he did fucking violate you. That's why he's lucky. If I was to ever see him, I will cut a bitch. Because I came back from dinner. So when I left for dinner, I was like, oh my God, Maddi, I really like this boy. He's so
Yeah,
nice.
you give him
Yeah.
He seems so normal and nice and everything. And you're like behind him, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. It's like, and I was like, yeah, sweet. But then when he took his pants off and went downhill from there.
And then, like, I came back from, because I was only gone for, like, 2 hours. So I was like, oh, my God. Like, I was so excited. I was like, Maddie's going to have such an I can't wait to hear. Maybe they're still hooking up or whatever. So I came home and I was like, ooh, like, your door was closed. I was like, yes, like, you know, she's getting it on. You open the door, you're like, I hate him. And I was like, what the fuck happened? And then I heard all this. I was like, no. What did we let in our house? And I was like, get my sage right now. Get my sage right now. I need to sage that booty first of all. But can I just say, what he did is so not okay. First of all, don't fucking go to, if any men are listening right now, you don't go to a fucking girl's house and just think it's okay to whip out a cock ring and just like
take your pants off so like
casually.
abruptly, like
you need to treat women with respect. Hello, we're a fucking normal human being as well. Just have a conversation. Let's talk. You're a fucking grown man, and don't be fucking putting your fingers where they don't belong without permission.
yeah, like ask if it's okay first and don't go in dry. Like you have the coconut oil.
If I didn't say it before, this podcast is not for anyone under 18. If you're listening to this and you have little children around, please don't. We
I
need
love how you say that now, like literally at the end.
we need to
You
put
listen
that,
to all the fuck stuff, but hey.
cut that trigger warning and put it in the beginning, Courtney, because we need a trigger warning for every fucking episode. We're too loose. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. And that wraps up today's podcast.
We're too loose, looser than the condom on that guy's dick.
Okay, and that wraps up an episode of The Divine. I hope you all enjoyed that and had a lot of laughs as much as we did. I want to say thank you to this beautiful human being who I love so much for coming on. So if you want to say hello or you have any questions about today's episode, or if you want to know more about how coconut oil would work as lube, you can email me on hello@thedivine.com. That's divine with a D-E-E. I'm also active on social media, on Instagram @dnewen.
Thanks for having me. I was so happy coming on here and I'm very proud of you and what you're doing, and I had lots and lots and lots of fun.
Thank you, and I can't wait for you to read my book.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. Oh, look at you go off, sis.
Go off, Queen.
So proud of you.
Slay, purity.